Hello there, and cheers for checking out the video. I built a couple of apps specifically for building sample maps for both Reaktor, which is primarily why I built it, but I've since added like Ableton sampler presets to it as well. So this app is pretty simple, and I'll get to it in shortly, but I just want to show the other app which I built as a sort of companion app to this, just to prepare folders and extracting samples from folders in order to put them in one folder in order that you can actually create a sample map from it. So I'll just explain that first, and hopefully it won't be too mind-numbingly boring. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a Native Instruments machine expansion, and I'm going to take the samples in that, make it into a folder which has all of the drums and percussion and hi-hat loops, basically boiled down into one folder. Probably the easiest way is if I just show what I'm going to do. So I'm going to head over to my Native Instruments content rather, and I'm going to go to Arcane Attic, which is a Native Instruments expansion. Actually, let's not do that one because I've already done that one. Let's do Arcane Attic. Oh, no, I've done it. Sorry, Astral Flutter. Okay, Astral Flutter. So all of the samples from Astral Flutter are in this samples folder, and within that folder you've got drums, which are one shots, instruments, which generally are one shots, and then you've got one shots folder, which is various other stuff. What I want to do is just take the loops folder, flatten it all down, and then extract basically the drums and the percussions from these sort of subfolders that are in there. And I want to do that all pretty quickly. So the way you do it is you browse to the folder. Where am I? Sorry, I'm trying to edit that out. To my Native Instruments contact, find that folder, click the samples, select that folder, and then you'll see it just comes up with those subfolders that are in there. So the only ones I want to keep, so I'm just going to extract those ones, exclude them rather, and I'm going to make a copy of that folder. So it's done that, all in one here. And then really, if you're going to make Reaktor sample maps, you might at this point be already done, and you could just say, okay, I've taken those, made a new folder, extracted all those loops basically which are in the loops folder, and I could go now to that, find that folder, select it, and just flatten that, and it would flatten all of those WAV files into the root of that folder. But actually what I'm going to do in this, for instance, I'm just going to extract just the drums basically from it. So within these construction kits you can see the subfolders, and here you can audition those if you want, and you can make basically go through and make like really sort of detailed sample packs if you want from these things, and extract just the sounds you want and make smaller packs for hardware and that kind of thing. But basically what I want to do is I'm just going to take the drums and the percussion from all of this. So here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an empty sample pack, which it's done there. So there's just a folder there which is completely empty, and that will make more sense in a second. So what I'm going to do is in this next section you can see it says select created sample pack. So you can create more than one, but in this, for instance, I'm just doing one. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to go select pattern, and I'm going to go, if I could spell drums, and then I'm going to say copy those selected folders to that selected sample pack, which is done. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to say, okay, I want to take all the percussion as well. Now, if you see, when I've done that, it actually automatically goes into that file structure and just selects that pattern of the perc loop. I can see actually it's got hi-hats here, so I'm just going to copy the percussion over Done that. Then I'm going to go hi-hats as well. Copy that over. Now you've got a bunch of buttons here which are for deleting folders, but this one at the end basically will just delete everything apart from that sample pack. So you can just go, okay, delete that. And now all I've got is my sample pack, which has got just the drums from that loops folder and just the percussion, and I believe it will have hi-hats and percussion bits from these folders as well. So basically all just percussion and drums. So now this sample pack, okay, it's all well and good, but it's no use because all of those samples are in subfolders, whatnot. So if I go here, just select that folder again and then flatten it, it basically just puts everything into that root folder, and it's basically just the bits I've selected from all those subfolders. So that's kind of what you can do with this, and it's just a quick way of organising things and you know, filtering out stuff you don't want in sample maps basically. Pretty useful, especially for the native instruments expansions. So anyway, that's a little bit more long-winded to explain, but this next bit hopefully isn't. So the next bit is we just go over the sample map generator, and obviously you don't have to do all of this. If you've got a folder full of samples, you can just skip straight to this. So basically I'm just going to browse to that folder which I just made, which is Astral Flutter samples new. I'll select that, and it's loaded all of those in there, all those drums, and I can see that it's got 93 there, and they're all in one. So basically that will just make one sample map. Now if there was like 400 samples in this sample pack, it would just continue making sample packs until all of the sample maps until all of the samples have been used. So 127, 127, 127, and then 80 or something, whatever it is. So that it automatically does that, and it will just go. So if I call this bunch of sample, this sample map now Astral loops, and I'm going to call it, in fact I like to just put call it Reaktor, and I just now literally simply it's selected all of those. So all of this can obviously be just done in a couple of clicks, but you can actually just go through, unselect things here. So if there's loops you don't want, you can take them out here, and you can audition them here as well. Let's just play that loop. Okay, great. So basically I'm just going to generate that sample map now, and as quickly as that it's done that, it's made that sample map, and I'm going to make an Ableton one as well. Just generate that, and now if we go back to our folder, not that one, that's when I was building it, where are we? Native instruments, Astral Flutter, samples new. You'll see that I've got an Ableton preset there, and I've got a Reaktor sample map as well. So if we go back into Ableton quickly, and I just click on that and pull it in, you'll see that it's made a mapped out sampler, which if I'm on the right thing, is mapped out across the keyboard. And then with the Reaktor one, obviously edit that, sorry, import and replace Astral Flutter. I'm already in that folder. Open that Reaktor map, and it'll report, and you'll see that it's mapped those out nicely. But obviously because there was only 90 odd samples in that, it's only done one sample map, and that mapped those over the keyboard there. So anyway, as you can see, just endless fun with that. Okay, if you've got any other questions, please give us a shout, and cheers for checking it out. Let us know what you think.